So my response is to our Unit 7 Fitness of Education on assessment. The question I'll be answering is describe assessment within this curriculum model. So what I've gathered so far from our book is that assessments allows student learning in numerous forms within a concept-based fitness curriculum, which is essential to the objective of attaining knowledge about physical activity and fitness. Now, the book goes over 4 different ways for assessment. The first one being journal and reflection questions, where students will use personal reflection questions to practice their writing skills and spark class conversations. An example of this would be what is the difference between being physically active and being athletic? After answering this question, students will write it down in their journal, where it will be collected and evaluated for its thoughtfulness and completion. A second way of assessment is using group projects, where you can get a group of 3 to 4 students, for example, and have them develop an aerobic dance routine where they'll demonstrate it and teach it to the class, which will build a segment together with the class into a single class routine. A third way of assessment would be individual projects, where you can have a student create a risk factor of their family tree and identifying any kind of lifestyle risk, for example, of heart disease, such as smoking, fatty diets, being inactive, for example, where they'll run through their family and present them in a poster where they can include a statement of how to avoid these negative effects in their family tree. So that's a third way of assessment. And the fourth one would be demonstration, where you can have students demonstrate appropriate activities for a given objective or body part, such as demonstrating, how to stretch a hamstring or a hip flexor, or maybe even the pec, or they can go over and demonstrate how to strengthen the rotator cuff muscle or your shoulder stabilizers, for example, to the class. So I believe that all these various forms of assessments definitely should not focus on specifically fitness, because every individual will have a different fitness ability, so it should all tend to focus more on effort and participation of the student. Now, the way I incorporate these assessments would be using demonstration. I actually only use demonstration since I am an athletic trainer. I'm not a coach or a physical educator. So with demonstration, what I do is I have my injured athletes, demonstrate to me the exercises that they have learned. If it's for their shoulder, them demonstrating any kind of shoulder stabilizing exercises that we have gone over, just to make sure that they are doing it appropriately. But if, say, I notice that they are losing a little interest, I might give them some homework where I'll have them be more involved and research any kind of new exercises that they can find for their injury, and then have them come back their next visit that they see me and demonstrate to me the exercise itself, and see if we can apply it to their recovery. So those are various ways. Or I can also have them demonstrate to me any kind of flexibility. So if it's stretching of the hamstring or their hip flexor or their pec muscle, I'll have them show it to me, make sure that they're doing it right, or if they have learned various ways of stretching that specific muscle, that they demonstrate it to me. And that's it. Thank you, class.